Ever since I was a little girl, I loved astrology. My grandmother introduced me to it, and she used to read me my horoscope whenever I was with her. As I grew older and I deepened my interest and my education in astrology, I learned about more than just our sun signs. I learned about moon signs and rising signs and birth charts and Saturn returns and aspects and transits and so much more. To this day, my enthusiasm and curiosity of astrology only grows, and I'm excited to share with you what your moon sign says about your habits. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Valerie Levine, your host and healthy habit mentor. I use science and spirituality to help my clients build habits that actually matter. And I am currently, if you're watching this video, you might think, hey, you're not in your usual office. And no, I'm not. And perhaps you're not watching the video, but you're listening to the audio and you're thinking, this sounds a little different. And it's probably because I'm sitting in our dining room, living room. We have a very open concept house. I am a little bit rattled. I have been procrastinating recording this because we are in the middle of selling our house. So the house is staged. I don't actually have an office right now. And so I don't have a desk. So right now I'm working from the dining room table, which is where my partner, Craig, likes to work from home. And there are so many noises in this room. I can't like the air just pushed on. I'm going to see if I can hang on. I'm going to turn this air off. Okay. I'm going to have to turn that air back on when we're done. So somebody remind me. That's not how this works, is it? Anyway, the other noises you might hear are the neighbors. We have brand new neighbors as we're about to move. New neighbors are moving in next door and we are in a townhouse. So we can hear a lot of their renovation. It sounds like they're redoing floors. They've been here for a while. Anyway, it's been a time. It's been a very exciting time. The other thing was the second I finally stopped procrastinating and sat down to record this, I did order skip the dishes and it arrived as soon as I sat down and I was very hungry. So I started nibbling on some fries. I also got a little milkshake. I got a kid size because I didn't know if I would like it. I very much like this. This is Oreo and vanilla, and I think I like milkshakes now. And then after I was like, okay, I'll just have a few bites of the dinner. We'll get this podcast recorded. I look outside and my parents have just driven to they're just showed up to the house. And I'm like, what is happening? And my mom wants a tour. So we are finally here. And I apologize if this episode sounds a little bit chaotic. That's just life right now. And I'm recording this about just over a week before this airs. So, this is a little bit of real time, but I'm recording this early because one, I want to stay on top of things. And two, we are leaving tomorrow morning. You have to be out of the house by like 4:30 in the morning to catch a flight. We're going to BC, Squamish, British Columbia to see my sister who lives there. And we're super excited. But again, it's just like there's so much going on. Perhaps it's in the stars. I haven't checked my horoscope today, believe it or not. Anyways, okay, they stopped sawing or cutting or whatever the heck they're doing next door. Hopefully that doesn't sound loud on here. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your patience as we go through this new episode. And I'm really excited to talk about astrology and habits. It's like two of my favorite things melded together. What wouldn't we love about that? So one of my favorite tools to really better understanding my one-on-one mentorship clients is actually using their birth chart, or it's also called a natal chart. And if you've never seen your chart before, or if you've never heard of a birth chart or natal chart, I'm going to link to two of my favorite astrology websites for getting a copy of your chart. So one of the charts it's set up in whole sign houses, and that's something that some astrologers use. And then the other link is a more exact chart. But again, they look a little bit like gibberish. If you already know your moon sign, I'd love to know what it is. You can drop it in the comments below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram to let me know. If you're watching this video, or if you remember seeing your birth chart for the first time, you might be looking at this birth chart and thinking, what exactly am I looking at right now? What is this? And essentially, your natal chart or your birth chart is a map of the sky the moment you were born. It looks like, if I could describe it, if you couldn't see it, it looks like a pizza pie with 12 slices. And there's like these little toppings that are scattered all over. The slices of this pizza represent the houses in astrology. And the toppings, if you kind of zoom into them or really look at them, They're actually symbols of different planets and asteroids and points in the sky. You'll also notice that each planet has a number and a degree sign beside it. And the crust of the pizza pie is labeled with the 12 zodiac signs. So, for the purpose of today's episode, we're just going to focus in on your moon sign, because the more you learn about astrology, the more you realize you don't know. And it just becomes this kind of like tangled web of information. And it's very interesting. And I'd love to chat about astrology with you in the DMs or in the comments of this video. But once you have your birth chart, look for a small crescent moon graphic, and the moon will be connected to a zodiac sign. So you'll look at the slice of pie that has the moon in it. You'll see that the moon will have the number with the degree, and it'll line up with the crust of the pizza that will say your zodiac sign. You'll probably recognize the signs. It could be the same as your sun sign, or it could be completely different. Mine is very different. When you find that crescent moon and the crust of the pizza, we're calling it, you will know that this is now your moon sign. On my birth chart, you can see in this video that I have a Scorpio moon, and that's all you need to know for this episode. Don't worry about the house, the slice of the pie it's in. Don't worry about the degree. If you're interested, like I said, in diving deeper into your birth chart, you can check out the links that I've shared in the show notes page and the description of this video. The show notes are at ValerieLevineLife.com/239. You could also book a clarity call with me where we can deep dive into how to create the best habits for you and your moon. And that's where we'll look a little bit more about what slice of pie it's in, what degree it's in, and all that. The moon is really important to understanding your habits because it tells us about our cravings and what we really want in life. It also reveals our habits, our instincts, and our reactions. It's very telling as to how we express and deal with our emotions, and it tells us about our innermost needs. Let's take a deeper look at each moon sign, starting with our fire moons. If you're an Aries moon, don't fall into the trap of all or nothing when it comes to your habits. Instead, create playful routines that keep your energy sustainable. Aries moon can be impatient and have a difficult time waiting for things to happen. You have this inner fire and passion, and while you like to act out your needs, you prefer instant gratification, and this can make you feel a little bit defensive at times as well. When you're thinking of that instant gratification, look for habits that are super tiny, where you can build on those tiny habits where you're getting the gratification as you grow. A Leo moon wants to be expansive. Create habits and routines that fuel your creativity and your confidence. You've got a great sense of humor and you like being the spotlight around the people you love and trust. Play to the strengths of your organized self and with habits that help you feel deeply connected to the special people in your life. Those with a Sagittarius moon crave adventure. You'd be supported by creating flexible routines that allow you to expand and explore the world around you. Create habits and rituals that allow you to feel freedom and space in your daily life, and make sure that your environment is bright and spacious as well, giving you the opportunity to attract newness into your life. While you might cringe at the idea of a regular routine, give yourself grace to have flexible routines like weekends exploring out. This could be a different location each week, but the intention is the same. You might notice similarities with the moon signs and how I've organized them together with their element. As we go through the signs together, notice if there's a moon sign that you resonate with, or maybe you're guessing the moon sign of someone you know. Here are the earth moons for you. Someone with the Taurus moon is a creature of habit, but make it extra. Silk sheets, fluffy robe, elevate those routines that you maybe already have. It's important for you to feel safe, so building a solid and comfortable foundation will be key for you to feeling content. Learning to be more adaptive when the routine is interrupted could be a great skill to master to really help you grow and evolve. If you've got a Virgo moon, you crave perfection and order in your routines. Don't forget that crafting habits is a skill, and it's okay to experiment as you learn and grow. Focus on the little things in life that make you feel happy and secure. as well as the small things that you can do to help you feel appreciated. Simplicity is key with your routines. Take off any unnecessary pressure and eliminate any overwhelm when you can. Now someone's hammering. Hello. I am back from my trip and we are going to try this again. Let me set up this mic. Hopefully we'll be uninterrupted this time. Thank you for your patience with this chaotic episode. I really appreciate this. And I love that we're talking about moon signs because this is just like, your moon sign tells you a lot about who you are when you lie awake at night and who you are when things don't go right. So I'm really practicing patience in this. Anyway, where were we? Earth moons. Those with a Capricorn moon are here to work hard for the long-term gain, and they take their habits and routines quite seriously. You have a very practical and structured routine in your life where you enjoy that practicality and that structure. And I really want you to remember to have some fun along the way. Need some inspiration for your habits and your routines? You can look at the realistic goals that you've set and then break those down into tiny actions that you can take every single day to get you to that goal, to get you to that endpoint. Opposite to earth signs are air signs. And air signs can be really hard to pin down since we're talking about the moon and our emotions and our cravings. I want you to think mental stimulation and mental routines for this element. For instance, those with a Gemini moon need to be mentally stimulated. Habits around learning a new skill or a new topic can be really beneficial to these moon placements. And definitely keeping routines versatile and variety for Gemini moons will be key. While this moon sign might be feeling a little bit unsettled, they are curious and they like to explore different things, which could lead to a lot of projects that are kind of like this work in progress. While they can spend too much time looking around at what others are doing, what other people are working on, they are the most adaptable and versatile of all the signs. Sometimes trying different routines to see which ones work best for you is what needs to be done before finding the right one. If you have a Libra moon, you'll crave balance and peace. So you want to create habits and behaviors through experimentation until you find the right flow and alignment for you. Strong partnerships are also important to you. So consider certain rituals and routines that you could share with other people and you could do on a regular basis and really enjoy with them. While striving for a harmonious life feels helpful to you, remember to enjoy the moments along the journey to creating your best life. And a lot of the times, balance doesn't mean things are like this all the time, but sometimes balance is being in a flow, being in a rhythm, being in that motion constantly, that fluidity. An Aquarius moon has rituals and routines that are rooted in values. You care about humanity and you crave independence. So your routines have to make sense to you, even if they don't make sense to the people around you. This moon placement is a lifetime student and extremely observant. Notice which rituals or symbols or routines catch your eye and curiosity. Perhaps you can put your own unique spin on a new routine. We've learned about the fiery moons, the earthy moons, the airy moons, and now finally, the emotional depths of the water moons. Each planet has what's called a home sign, and the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer. So someone with a Cancer moon can be very nurturing, and self-care might come really easily to them. Just make sure that your habits are helping you so that you can better help others. You'll like to seek out familiarity in your routines and your rituals, but that doesn't mean you can't weave in newness into your existing routines. A Scorpio moon wants to create transformation and have habits that go deeper than the surface level. 2 words, emotional intensity. You see what isn't obvious to the rest of the world. And this can sometimes lead to upheaval or dramatic ups and downs. So I want you to commit to routines that help you feel meaningful and go all in when it feels right to you. Listen to your intuition when it comes time to change up a routine and really tap into your inner strength when the new habits feel tough to build at first. If you have a Pisces moon, you'll want your habits to include time alone, as you can be highly sensitive and empathetic. So you need time to reset and come back to yourself. Give yourself room to dream and create a grounding practice to really help you balance your life and your energy. You are compassionate, intuitive, and rituals that help you create boundaries will be really important to your life and relationships. I'd love to know what you thought of today's episode. Did you connect to your moon sign? Will you be tweaking some of your habits, your routines, your rituals? Let me know in the comments below this video, or send me a DM on Instagram at ValLevineLife to share. Thank you so much for your patience with the chaos of this episode, and we'll see you again next week. Take care for now.